remove that opportunity for him, no matter what his age, be it my 6-year-old son or my 40-year-old buddy that I'm working on getting into hunting, that is going to greatly diminish the opportunity of drive and commitment that they're going to have for this.
Yeah,
and
the moment you start putting asterisks on ages and classes for hunters, that you lost what we were doing here.
Dude. Yeah. The DNR's always talking about hunter decline too. That's one way to make it decline even more.
Absolutely.
So here's a question for you. I know a lot of guys down south will get permission on farms not to deer hunt off the rip. They'll start out with like coyotes or groundhogs or squirrels.
Yeah.
Turkey seems to be kind of one people are kind of indifferent about.
50-50,
Because it's not, they don't have that attachment like Bambi.
Yeah.
It's not there. It's just
bird to look at.
It's just it's just a bird. Yeah, go ahead. And they'll do that for a while, and then eventually it's like, you guys can do some deer hunting. And it's okay. Well, you can, you can bring your buddy. That's fine. Right. They work their way up into getting that permission. I don't know. I've never tried to obtain anything like that.
I've thought about that too. If I were to run into a homeowner that's or a landowner that's a little bit resistant, but I can tell there might be some wiggle room. I've thought about saying, well, I don't have to deer hunt here. So that even if I just have the opportunity to squirrel hunt, I see you have great oak woods, great vast trees.
Right.
Would it be okay if I brought my son with me to come squirrel hunt a couple times this year? I'll shoot you a text every time I'm coming, so you know when I'm going to be there. You're not waking up or looking out your window and there's my truck unexpected. Shooting you a text when I leave if I ever get anything. If you're interested in that, or even deer hunting, text them when you're on your way. Text them when you're leaving your stand. Let them know where you're at. Be completely transparent. Send them pictures of the deer you get. Offer them some of the meat.
Oh yeah.
So one of the turkey permissions that I have, he asked that whether it's 4 o'clock in the morning or noon, I want to know when you're in and when you're out. And
it's an easy thing to do.
Easiest thing in the world. And on the first time I did it, I was like, it is 4:30. I don't want to text this guy. Like, was he really serious? And I texted him, and then at 6 o'clock or whatever, when he woke up, said, cool, thanks, have fun. I'm like,
sweet.
All right. Good. And that's been a 2-year permission now, and we see a lot of birds in there, and we're in there pretty frequently.
Right.
And I still feel like I gotta be annoying this guy, but he's happy.
Yeah.
He's very happy that we do that.
And if he's letting you continue to come back season after season, he loves the fact that you're respecting his way.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one of the things that I do with him, just because he's a local farmer and farmers rub elbows with farmers, is that I call him a couple times throughout the off-season. We only have turkey permission, and I don't want to deer hunt his property because he has family that hunts it, and he made it known that this is like, hey, no, you can turkey hunt. I have nobody that wants to turkey hunt, but I got family that deer hunts. I'm like,
fine.
Cool, perfect.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely all I need. But I call him multiple times throughout the year, be like, "Hey, saw on Facebook he had a trip to Florida. How was it?"
Yeah,
and we sit there and BS, and he's a great guy, and I'll be honest, I am using it a little bit just to maintain a good relationship, but when we have the conversations, it is developing into a friendship. We're 40 years apart almost.
Right. Yeah.
So there's only so much of a friendship there, but it's a good conversation to have, and I think he sees a young guy trying to make the best for himself, and I think that's what he appreciates about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The last permission piece I got was, that would have been 2017. I had it for 2 years, and I got it just from doing work. It was an older gravel pit in town, and I knew the lady that owned it. I knew her daughter. She's married to one of my buddies. She was like, yeah, you should ask my mom. My mom wanted to see about having some work done. And it was they were trying to reclaim the property to sell it. So I knew, okay, going into this, if I did get permission, it wasn't going to be a forever thing.
Yeah.
So I ended up ripping a whole bunch of underground water line, cutting it up, and then she was like, well, what do you guys, me and my buddy's like, what do you guys want, for pay? And then my buddy was like, he's like, I really don't need the money. Well, let's just see if we can hunt. So that's what we did. We're like, could we get permission to hunt? She was like, yeah, that's fine. She said the same thing. Just let me know when you're coming. Mm-hmm. Let me know if you get anything. I was like, if we get anything, you're welcome to have as much as you want of it.
Yeah.
I didn't get any out of there because it was kind of a weird property to hunt. My buddy, I think he killed a doe. He was like, yeah, I pretty much gave her most of it.
We've done stuff like that too. We've had permissions on land where we tell the homeowner, hey, if you need anything,
need a hand, let me know.
If you need a load of firewood,
let us know.
and that homeowner would take us up on it about once every mid to early fall when she knew we'd be coming down for November. She would text us, say, hey, I need a truckload of firewood.
A truckload of firewood.
Done. Got it. We'll bring it our next weekend down, and we would.
Yep.
Her wood burner, her outdoor wood burner for her house heat went out a couple of different times, and we'd go down there, diagnose it, run and get the part, fix it for her, so she didn't have to get a plumber in.
Yeah.
And it's just because we were trying to maintain that relationship. They've let us hunt here for so long. We want to help her out too.
And in no way was that ever inconvenienced us.
No, gosh, no.
Because one, she was a sweet lady, and I hope she's still doing well. But look at it like this: you're not paying, but you're learning a skill. Because when we did have to fix that burner, like
Didn't know nothing about it.
neat, cool. Now we know something that we didn't know before.
The thing I've noticed too is like getting the permission is super challenging.
Yeah.
Maintaining it's easy.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Just legitimately, just be a
100%.
good person.
Yeah.
You can keep that property for as long as as they want you to have it.
Absolutely. I think that's
The problem is a lot of people just aren't good people.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's why a lot of
maybe.
landowners-
That's why a lot of landowners have that bad taste in their mouth. They had one guy come and hunt, and he did all the wrong things.
Yeah.
So they got the bad impression.
That's the way I told you about that property that we're looking at hunting.
Yeah.
And the
landowner says
fall.
that he has a specific set of rules.
Yeah, he had a specific spot where he wants us to park, and there was one guy who went bahan through his fields. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I just wanted to go down there, but I didn't want to walk all the way down there.
Should have walked.
Should have walked because he got kicked out of there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he wasn't allowed back."
Yeah, I legitimately think landowners that are hesitant had given someone permission at one point,
And lucky enough, he's still willing to give.
and that's
people
awesome.
position.
That's great for you guys.
Yeah,
Right.
it's nice that one bad apple didn't
Right.
ruin the bunch.
Yeah, but a lot of them, that is the truth.
Yeah.
They had one guy that just did all the wrong things, and it was the first guy he let on. They're like, well, that's what they're all like. I don't want none of them
Yeah.
here.
Right.
It's a sad truth.
Yeah, so I guess the biggest thing is don't be nervous about knocking on doors, but just make sure that who you were as a person is a reflection of who you would want to know as a person.
Have you guys had any luck sending letters before? Have any of you guys sent
I
letters?
have not. I haven't sent very many, but the ones I have
Right.
had, I've had no responses on.
So
I sent a few letters and got one positive response, but it wasn't really a property I really wanted. It was kind of just neighboring up against ones. I was asking for permission on other ones, so I never really followed up. But it was a positive response, and I just never followed up on it, to be honest.
I had one positive reply as well, and I'd make myself very accessible. I would send the letter, but I would also put my cell phone, my email, and I would normally get a phone call back and just saying, hey, like, we already got guys hunting this, and stuff like that. But I had one guy reach out. And we actually spoke on the phone. I called him, which I don't normally answer numbers that I don't know, but I had just sent out like 20 letters, and I'm like watching my phone like it's Christmas, and I was like, okay, this might be one. I know that area code, so I answered the phone. He's like, hey, so your letter was really nice. I appreciate you sending it. I'm a manager for this property. It's going to change hands next year, and I know who it's going to change to. They do allow people typically to come in on permission to hunt. But I never followed through because I got 2 different permissions the next year, and I was like, "Well, my cup's full."
Yeah.
I mean, you can spread yourself out a little bit and hunt different properties, but at what point are you
Is there
spreading
too
yourself
much
too
property?
thin, and then you're losing some of your?
Because I do know guys that
Some
do
of your
that. They'll
power.
have permission everywhere. Like, oh, I can hunt here. I'm like, you hunt all that? No.
Yeah.
Then why have it?
Yeah.
And I think that says something for the landowner too. If they're going to grant you permission, take advantage.
Yeah, you need to use
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Don't abuse it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to hold a spot that somebody else could have, a good landowner is going to see that and go,
Yeah.
well, they didn't hunt this year. I got this family over here that wants to hunt. I'm going to let them hunt.
There's definitely lots.
Another
of that
thing I
too.
learned too, especially with like the farmers, like they like to see you kill deer.
Yeah.
No,
They want to see you. They don't want to hear, oh, what'd you see? Oh, I saw 9 does and 3 small bucks tonight. They were all within 20 yards. They're going to go, what are you doing
Passed
here?
on them all.
Yeah. When you got guys like Nick, they're like, I'll wax anything that walks in front of me for a month.
My man.
You're keeping it alive, brother. That's what they want. You're not there to watch them. They want you there like, hey, I got too many deer here. Get them out.
Yeah.
That's why you're there.
And which is why, I said, send him pictures of what you get. Like even if my son were to get one or not, if we got one together, I'm going to send that landowner a picture of that deer with my son sitting next to it. It's going to be a grip and grin with my son.
Hey, just wanted to let you know.
Absolutely. Look at the smile on this kid's face. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this.
One thing we've done too in the past is usually send them, something for Christmas, a card, like a gift card to a restaurant,
That's what our
$1,500.
dad does.
We've done that before.
Yeah,
And
hams.
then we did it to the one landowner so many times, he actually called and was like, "You don't have to do that." It's okay.
I don't like this stuff. Knock it off.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I was like, this guy doesn't like Applebee's, Dad.
With our hunting club, we had a landowners appreciation dinner. We had like a,
So that's
had
really
like
cool.
a banquet.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Now it's kind of tapered off because there's only 4 or 5 landowners, so it's really not much of a.
What
big
y'all
thing.
want from McDonald's?
Right. We send them gift cards now, or I mean, there was door prizes you could win at these banquets, and we'd give away TVs and
That's
stuff
cool.
like that.
That's really cool.
But it's obviously tapered off since we don't have as many landowners anymore.
Now, what do you guys think about this? I don't know how long it's been a thing now with the state, where you could do like our version of walk on.
I want to say
yeah.
it's 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I've used a
You
couple.
have to go online the day of
before.
or the night before.
Night before, night
And
before.
I think
Put your
it's
name down.
you're allowed one hunter,
2. I think it's 2.
Yeah.
one
Well,
hunter
it's
for
per
every
acre.
50
It's per-
acres.
it's-
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
one
yeah.
hunter
For
for
50 acres.
50 acres.
Because
I don't know exactly, but
because the place we grew up hunting is now that.
Yeah.
It's 600 acres and
Oh,
they allow
is it?
12
Okay.
hunters.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Because everyone's like, man, we should get like my uncle and everyone's like, man, we should go back in there. I'm like, well, 600 acres. We know where the good spots are at. You can't take a car in. You can't take any vehicle in. I'm not dragging a deer that far. Have fun. And usually where he's like, yeah, you're right. You're not going to do that.
I will. I'll show me.
I'll show you as soon as we stop recording. I'll show you where this place is at.
I will walk 600 yards.
And I'll show you some really good.
I will walk, a long ways.
I know, like the one good spot. Oh man, it was all the way. It was in the dead center, and that place was built like a hill, and it was just, I mean, thicker than thick at the top. But there was always deer there.
Interested.
Yeah.
Interested.
Very. That's one of the things that I always like see when different states or even counties, sometimes you'll see different, or they're whatever law enforcement or governing agency is working with the Department of Natural Resources and landowners to help create land access to the public. That is so limited all across the country.
Which
states like Ohio,
Out west, it's a big thing. Like when I went down to South Dakota 3 years ago, there was walk-in areas everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I've heard.
There was more walk-in areas than actual publicly owned areas. Wow. And I mean, I wish we could get something like that going in Ohio. I don't know how.
I think the big difference there is just population.
Yeah.
There's a lot more hunters here than there are in South Dakota.
Well, they give a tax per acre to payment to the landowners. And I don't know what the specifics are on payment or whatnot.
So
Probably per acre, I would imagine.
I don't know what the dollar amount was attached to it, though. You know what I mean?
Who knows? It can fluctuate so much.
Right.
I'm going to be a little discreet with this. There's a neighboring state that I have hunted that also offers walk-in property, and I knocked on a couple of those doors because in that state you recommend a face-to-face, and everybody said, oh, we have a guy hunting it already. Oh, we have a guy on it already. They didn't. I talked to locals, and they said we're using this for the tax write-off.
But they don't actually let anybody.
Yeah.
They just,
so there is an ugly side to it, which is
there
frustrating.
Yeah. Which in South Dakota we never ran into that problem. I mean, really.
Yeah, there's 8 people there.
What's that?
There's 8 people in South
Literally.
Dakota. You're not gonna run to nobody, dude.
No, I mean there's people. You don't have to ask permission or anything. It's marked as walk-in.
Yeah.
South
You just
Dakota,
go in there
I believe Kansas is the same way.
Yeah,
It's just
I think so.
there's just a sign at the front of the
Ohio
road.
is you get onto the app, you go through, you look at the maps, you select, and you're good to go for the next day.
And I have seen some where it's like notes from the landowner, like please park here,
Yep.
Right.
or
Yeah.
please pull off
Well,
here
even on
instead.
Onyx on some states, I know Michigan. I've looked into their walk-in program. It says park it wherever, or just pull off, or and you can't hunt it within. I think it's 400 meters of a structure or something.
And I
And
think-
that makes you wonder too.
And I think Michigan has, like youth only stuff too. Like it'll say
think so.
youth only.
Well,
That's
Ohio-
pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, which
I think Ohio
I'm all
does, too.
about that.
Yeah.
I know we have youth only controlled hunts.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's what I
about
was saying.
Yeah.
that makes you wonder. Those people that do the OLAP, and they have those notes. Are those people that really wanted someone to hunt, but because it got so hard, now people are so discouraged to do it, they just never had a door knock, so they're like, screw it, let's just let everyone.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a
Maybe.
thought.
You're like,
Because a lot of the places I've seen, they're not big places. They're, under 40 acres.
Yeah, 40, 50 acres.
Every now and then you'll get that big chunk on there, but usually it's, hey, one guy, two guys on this place.
yeah.
And it just makes you wonder, like, is this the place that people, like, man, I wish someone would come here and hunt. And it's so hard to get permission that people are getting discouraged that no one ever knocked.
Yeah.
Wild times.
Yeah.
Wild times in Dane's basement.
You mean Field to Food headquarters? Thank you.
The HQ.
The HQ. Yeah, there's a lot of wood in here that I've done work to.
We got a cup I'm slowly revealing the logo on. So I've been trying to turn it toward the camera the whole time.
Yeah.